Good afternoon. This is RFC Maki here, doing another flight report for a flight that I did a few weeks ago. This flight takes place, this is a mission called Blitz. It's in the Battle of Britain set of missions from Birds of Steel on Xbox 360. I don't usually like to fly the BF-110s, but in this mission, I am piloting, along with a flight of 4 BF-110s, I'm piloting a 110 to protect a raid of what I believe are HE-111s who are attacking Canterbury. So my first task in this mission is to engage in bomber defense. You can see that we've just crossed over Dover and are heading into England, and it doesn't take very long here before the first Brit planes scramble up and engage us. Now the 110 was originally designed as a fighter, as I understand it, but later on was completely outclassed, and so largely was used as a long-range fighter defense plane. I am not very good at handling it. You can see rather than the sort of smooth movement of a plane, I seem to be constantly jiggling and jerking the plane along. I suspect it's because I'm constantly flying too low of energy. There appears to be what appears to be a hurricane diving in on my planes, and take a few shots and see what I can do. The second one there, they're faster than I am. I'm sort of jerking around, so I'm taking a few shots. One of the things I've discovered in bomber defense is that one doesn't always have to down the enemy. All one simply has to do is get a few shots, frighten them away. Now, I make a mistake here, chasing this plane. He lures me down and out, which also saps a bit of my energy, and it takes me quite a bit of energy to pull back up again. I can fly past my countrymen there, their parachutes bailing out of their bombed bombers, and climb back up again, and attempt to climb back up again. Now I've got some planes on my tail, some hurricanes on my tail. The problem here is that the way the camera, you can see I'm shooting in a totally different plane than this one. The replay function here has a little bit of a weird glitch where it chooses what plane it wants you to be focusing on, what plane it's got as its sort of target plane. So very often in these tail gunner shots, it looks like I'm completely ignoring the one plane that's dangerous, and probably I am sometimes, but certainly I'm tail gunning or rear gunning a different plane than the one that's on the screen here. I really dislike the rear gunning, tail gunning aspect of this game. It seems entirely unrealistic to me because you have to somehow keep your plane steady, and usually that involves setting the trim so that your plane flies straight rather than up and down, and then while it's doing that, then you can focus on using gunnery skills. Oh, this is such a great shot. Look at all those planes flying out there, the bombers and the hurricanes and everything. Anyway, when I love even though they're the planes I'm supposed to be defending, I love the look of those bombers going down in smoke and the guys parachuting out and everything. Anyway, it's totally unrealistic because the real 110s, it's not like the pilot raced back from his seat, ran back to do the rear gunning, and then raced up again to keep flying. Here's another one, another hurricane I'm chasing. A few quick shots and not able to hit the guy. Just can't seem to keep the plane smooth enough. All the shots dance around. This guy moves just too easy. It lifts up out of my way, and I can't chase him, so I gotta let him go. Move back to my objective. At least I was a little bit smarter there and going back to the objective. Here, I'm playing the game in custom mode with no marked enemies of any kind, so I can't just simply click a button and look for the nearest enemy, or even check the map and look for the dots of the map, because when I'm playing this, I'm using just my eyes alone to try to follow the planes. So thank God some of my bombers are smoking. Here I am. I still managed to stay with my group. It's thinning out quite a bit, but with my group, I've chased away a couple of hurricanes, and I swear somewhere in these things, I think when I actually played it, my tail gunners actually hit one of the hurricanes, although I don't think it ever records in this video. So at this point, we're deep into Kent, getting closer and closer to our target of Canterbury. A couple look-around shots just to see who's where. There's a hurricane you can see peeling off to the right back there, and I don't know why I did this, but since the planes in the front seem to be clear, I reversed, looking to harass some of the planes towards the back of the group, so sort of flying front to back. The danger with this, of course, is unless you reverse quickly, then you find yourself floundering at the very back of the bomber formation, unable to take care of everything in the front. Exactly, this guy blows right past me, and it's going to take me forever to sort of nudge, creep, and jerk my way around. And as I do so, here you can see one other plane smoking and another plane going down. So the losses are getting pretty heavy here. I think there's a hurricane rising up. One or two flying that direction. I'm kind of failing here, but at least a lot of the bombers, enough of the bombers apparently, according to the game rules, are making it through, because we get to this phase in the game where I received some new mission, and the new mission is to clear the defenses, the air defenses, the anti-aircraft guns and emplacements on the ground, and so that's the next kind of objective, and I think what this makes this mission actually pretty freaking fun. Again, nothing is marked, so when you're looking for ground defenses, you're really, well, there's some tracer fire behind me. You're looking for those. You can see a couple of them there. First shot blows one up. A second one right there, a little bit more obvious, got that one as well. So 2 in 1 pass, which is pretty good. I think the game sets the objectives that you have to destroy at least 6 of the ground defenses, or at least 6 of them have to get destroyed. And I'm using sort of a modified version of I think they call it a half Cuban. So you dive down, pull up, reach the top of my loop, use some heavy rudder, pull down, and you'll switch back to cockpit mode here again. And then drop the nose, drop the speed a little bit, look down for the next target. I'm concentrating on just one side of the field, and I'm staying away from those defenses that are in the city because they're just too hard to see. And looking for any kind of tracer fire indicative of where these guys are, and I managed to hit, you don't see it on the screen there, but I managed to hit another one there just behind me. Halfway through, if you look, when you look back, maybe not when you get one of the look back shots, you can see the flames and the smoke up from that spot. A quick check of the 6 to see if anybody's on me. You get a nice shot of the city, and then do the same thing. You pull the nose up, you apply some heavy rudder to one side, drop back down again, reduce the throttle, and start hunting for the next target. So really you're doing a whole series of half loops back and forth. I can see there's one right there in the field. You can see the shots. Trick is to get the nose on the right spot, and a hit on that one blows that one up as well. So managed to splash 4 of the enemy defenses right there, which is not too bad, considering that none of them are marked at all. Pull the nose up again, and sort of continue that same routine. Check behind me. Look back at this point, drop the nose, drop the throttle, and search for a target. Like I said, I'm sticking with the ones in the field. I spot one down there. You see him. Do enough firing, and not clear to me right off the bat here whether I got him. Probably that was a miss. So it seems to be the Hurricanes are shooting at me a little bit, but not quite able to do complete damage here. And my rear gunner is shooting at something. I don't know. That's not even me doing that. But usually this kind of movement keeps me safe. I played this game like probably 4 or 5 times before I finally got a successful run. It took me a while, and I did get shot down quite a bit. Okay, you can see there's the target sitting in the field, barely visible, but you can at least see the gunfire. And can't tell there, so you look back, but that was a successful hit. You'll see in a shot here in a second, I think, that the flames from the field from that run, the guy got splashed out, so that's yet one more hit. I think that would be number 6, if I remember right. And now I've got somebody on my tail. Around this point, I think the game has declared that we've cleared enough of the ground defenses for the bombers to hit. Unfortunately, I don't get to see the bomber runs or the destruction of the city. But the rules are at this point. The rules are get out of there as quickly as possible. Now I've got guys on my tail, and a couple of my games I got this far, or at least the ones I made it this far. I got hit and destroyed pretty quickly, so you can see there's a couple guys on my tail. It might be here that I cleared one of the Hurricanes off me, but you can see I'm trailing smoke from an earlier hit there. Having some trouble doing some firing and trying to fly as quickly as I can. These planes are not fast, they're not agile, and so the trick is to see just how far I can make it. Sorry for weird. I was trying to use the game to give me just a little bit of different view so you weren't just stuck in pilot view. There's my plane struggling to get out of here as best as possible, heading straight for the coast. My rear gunner, that's the sort of AI version of the rear gunner flying. I wish the rear gunner were much better. I'd rather just fly the plane and let him do the shooting, clear people off my tail, but I guess a lot of people like to sort of go back and fire. I just like the idea of running back and forth between the two things. I'd rather if somebody else flew, then I could do the tail gunning, or if somebody else did the tail gunning, I could just fly. But I was looking to do something a little bit different. Now you can see here as I make it back to the coast, there's a giant swarm of planes off there to the left. Looks like a bunch of these, or a couple of these, are some of my own planes, but look, they're being pursued by a group of, I really like that foggy look, that cloudy look there. Those guys are being pursued by some Spitfires, I believe. That's the one nice thing about these missions, is that there's a lot more variety in what you do. You've got a goal, you've got a target, you've got different kinds of planes that you're up against at different stages in the game. And I really try to play these things as if I have one life. The one thing I do change to keep this from being completely realistic is that I find I can't really complete the missions with the amount of ammo in limited ammunition. So typically for these missions, I will go ahead and click the unlimited ammo function. That's about the only way I can actually get any of the game completed. So here it is. I'm just desperately trying to make my way back to the channel. I'm pretty close, very close to the edge, and just to sort of increase my chances, I dive down a little bit, stay low. Hopefully, as I drop altitude, I can exchange altitude for some speed and get out of here, because those hurricanes back there can be pretty, or those Spitfires back there can be pretty nasty. And it looks to me like I'm just about home clear here. Gonna skim some houses, put some distance behind me, maybe get out over the channel. I'll be at least partly out of the channel. I'll be safe. And unfortunately, the Spitfires are behind me. You can see the tracer fire there as I go in for a close-up. This is kind of a cool shot too. That guy's behind me. I thought I could make it. I want to switch back to the tail gunner, and blam! The guy lit me up. My plane goes down. I did this a little bit of slow motion so you can see. I like the way this works. Ripped my wing to shreds, killed my engine, and dropped me in the ocean. So my pilot died in this match. I did manage to complete this game successfully because I have 4 planes and the other ones made it safely, but I ended the mission here. Hope you enjoyed that little bit of adventure. Check with you next time. Cheers and take care.